Oh man, you're still here. All right, cool. Let's keep going then. We're gonna open up Hue. I've changed up the pattern a little bit. You can hear it back now. Whoops. It's really simple. I just reduced everything to a single note. I also added a second piano track and have that playing at quadruple speed, also a single note. And this is to help demonstrate how the Hue menu works. So we can jump up to Hue and yeah, so here it is. Hue is a global setting. So whatever you're setting here has the potential to impact all 16 tracks if you filter them through. The Hue sequencer, now that was weird, but focus on the sequencer part. Whenever I say the word sequencer in Prism, I'm generally talking about the same machine for laying down steps that modify things. You have the same 8x2 matrix, you have the same settings to control its length and everything, so I won't touch on that there. You can just use it the same way that you would use the sequence, but know that what it produces is a different effect. So we use the right side, the keypads, to select a shift amount. And we can use these to change an octave. You know, it can go anywhere from 1 step to 8 times 12. But anyways, we select the steps and then we add them to our sequence. We can press and hold to change the length and to adjust the conditional settings of it. No velocities associated with this. Finally, we select the tracks that we want our Hue sequencer to affect by pressing this menu. This pulls up a trig state that allows us to select the tracks that we want to apply. The Hue menu isn't applicable to drum tracks, so those are X'd out. I'm just going to start by applying it to our synth machine. So now when I play back, what Hue is going to do is it's going to take the shift value in the sequencer and it's going to raise the output of all the notes of the tracks that it's impacting by that amount. So we'll hear the notes from the synth change, but the notes from the piano will still stay the same. And that is essentially what the Hue sequencer is. So then you can do that, you know, and start picking out which patterns you want to apply it to. Which tracks or even which patterns. And so now we can have it apply to both our synth and our piano. And you can hear when it enters a white trig step, it goes back to its default value. So you can think of this as saying shift 1 for these 4 steps, shift 7, shift 1, shift 0, shift 7, shift 0. The Hue sequencer itself also has its own patterns. You can create 8 individual patterns, and depending on what scene you're in, the scene is going to be tied to the Hue pattern. So if I'm in scene B and I go to pattern 2, but I go back to scene A, it'll jump back to pattern 1 for the Hue sequencer. So this is a really powerful way to start adding a lot of dynamics and variation to your melodic and your tonal sequences. You'll notice too that you have a swing value in here. This adjusts the global swing parameter of everything and all the MIDI playing from all 16 tracks. But every track does have access to its own individual swing parameter if you press and hold, and this includes drum pads too, and then you can impact them that way. That was a quick little tangent, but really that's what the Hue sequencer is. It's a final stage in the MIDI chain to add one more layer of pitch shifting. Yeah, so next time I think we'll take a look at, you know what, I don't know exactly what we'll take a look at next time. I'll figure out what makes the most sense, but I hope you have fun with what's been shown so far. This is a lot of the major functionality, and I think the core to what everything else plays off of. So knowing these pieces really well is how you're going to take the most advantage out of what Prism has to offer.